Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MEGAH NAFISAH binti MASTOKAN. Number matric S70529 will solve the problem 4.5. Okay, first of all, we need to enter the data the customer, and then next column is customer ID, city, state, credit limit, and then enter the data given at the e-learn. After enter the data from the customer, we need to create a new table and type inventory. The first column is item ID, description, standard cost, list price, and quantity. And then we enter the data. The third table is we need to do the sales. For first column is invoice, sale data, salesperson, customer ID, and an amount. And then we enter the data. the last table, we need to do the sales inventory. For the first column, invoice, and then item ID. Next is quantity, and then sale price. And then, as usual, we enter the data given. And then after we have entered the data, we need to choose the database tool, and then we need to join the relationship between the fourth table that we do. First, we need to join the relationship between sales inventory, invoice, and sales invoice. Next, for customer ID and sales customer ID. And the last one is inventory item ID and sales inventory item ID. For question A, first we need to choose the query and then query design, and then we choose inventory, and then for the first field we choose item ID. And then for the next column we choose description, and then quantity on the third field. For that, we need to choose bigger and equal to 100, and then we run the data. So this is the answer for question A. For the question B is what were items number, price and quantity of each item sold, and invoice number 103. First, we need to choose the sales and then sales inventory. Next, we need to put the invoice for sales in the field 1, and then item ID from sales inventory, and then quantity from sales inventory, and the last one is sale price from the sales inventory. For the criteria on invoice sales, we need to choose 103, and then this is the answer for question B. We copy and paste in the document. Which customer made purchase from Martinez? Provide customer name and sales price. Show customer names only once, even if they purchase from Martinez multiple times. For the C question, it's same. We need to choose the create and then query design, and then we need to use the customer table and a sales table. First, we need to use the customer name from the customer, and then salesperson from the sales table, and then we click on total, and then for the criteria we write Martinez, and then we run the data. So this is the answer for question C. We copy and then paste it in the document. Okay, the next one is question number D. List invoice, sale date, salesperson, customer name, and amount for invoice whose amount is more than 1,500. Sort the amount from the largest to the smallest. We create and then choose query design. And then we choose sales table and customer table. And then invoice from sales, sales date from sales, and then salesperson from sales, customer name from customer, amount from the sales. And then for the sorting, we choose the descending, and we write bigger than 1,500, and then we run the data. So this is the answer for D, question D. We copy and paste in the document. So we adjust a little bit the table. Next, question E. Question E, list invoice, item ID, description, sale price, list price, quantity, and compute the extension sale price times quantity for all the items sold where sale price is different than the list price. Sort by item ID in descending order. So we create query design, and then we choose inventory. Then we choose inventory, we choose sales and sales inventory. For the first field column, we choose invoice from sales, and then we choose item ID from inventory, description from inventory, and then sales price from sales inventory. And the last and next is list price from inventory. And the last one is quantity from sales inventory. Next, we need to build, and then we need to type extension, and then we choose tables. We choose sales inventory, sale price. We need to times with the quantity from sales inventory, and then we click OK. And for item ID, we sort by descending, and for sale price, the criteria is lesser and bigger, in bracket list price, and then we click run. Okay, this is the answer from the question E. We copy and paste it in the document. For question F, compute the profit margin for each item. So calculate the profit margin as sale price minus standard cost, divide by sale price. List invoice, sale date, item ID, sale price, quantity, and compute the profit margin. Sort by profit margin in descending order. Okay, we create and then curate the design, and then we choose inventory table, sales table, and then sales inventory table. And then for the first field, we choose invoice from sales, sale date from sale date from sales, item ID from inventory, and then sale price from the sales inventory, and quantity from the sales inventory. Next, we need to build. We type profit of margin, and then we choose from the database tables sales inventory, and then we choose sale price minus with sales with inventory standard cost, and then we divide by sales inventory sales price, and then we click OK. For the sort by, we choose the descending, and then this is the answer. We copy the answer and then paste it on the answer sheet. Next is question G. Question G, compute the profit for each line of the invoice. Calculate the profit as sale price minus standard cost times by quantity. List invoice, sale date, item ID, sale price, quantity, and compute the profit. Sort by invoice in the ascending, then profit in descending order. And then we choose inventory table, sales table, and sales inventory table. And then we choose invoice from sales, sale date from sales, item ID from inventory, sale price from sales inventory, and quantity from sale inventory, and standard cost from inventory. And then we need to build, we need to type profit we need to choose from the database tables sales inventory sale price minus by inventory standard cost, and then times the sales inventory quantity. And then we click OK. So for the one we build, we need to do the sort by descending, and for invoice from sales, we need to do the sorting by ascending, and then we run the data. So this is the answer for G. We need to copy and then paste to the answer sheet. Okay, Next is how many sales transactions were made in October. Name your output column number of sales. We create and then choose query design. For this table, for this question, we choose only one. We choose sales and add the table. We choose sale date from the sales, and then the criteria we need to type between hashtag 1 October 2018 and 31 October 2018. For the next column field, we need to build, and then we type number underscore of sales. Count, we choose from the database tables, sales, sale date, and then we click on OK. And then we need to untick the first column. So this is the answer, we got 7, and then we copy and paste on the question H. Next is I. Question I. The question is how many customers live in Arizona, list the state and count of customer. Okay, we need to create query design, and then we choose customer, state on the first column of field, and then for the criteria we type AZ, and then we need to build, and then we choose count, we type count of customer, and then we choose from the database table customer, state, and then we click OK. And then we click total, and group by we choose expression and untick the first field, and then we run. So this is the answer for the question, and then we copy and then paste it on the answer sheet. Next is J. How many customers live in each state? List the state and count of customer. Sort the list alphabetically by state. Okay, same, we need to choose query design, and then for this question, for the J question, we need to insert the customer table, and then choose state, and then we need to build, we need to type count of customer, count, we need to choose from the database table, and then customer and state, and then we click OK. And then we click total for and group by expression, and then for the sorting we need to choose ascending, and then we run the data. So this is the answer for the question J. We copy and paste the data. Second last question is how much did each salesperson sell based on sales amount? This salesperson and total amount, so from the largest total amount to smallest. Okay, we need to create and then query design, and then we choose sales. From the sales we choose the salesperson, and then we need to put in the second field column. In the second column we need to put amount, and then totals, we click totals, and then we click sum, and then the sort we choose the descending. This is the answer for the second last question. For the last question, how many of How many units of each item was sold? This item ID, description, and total sold, sort of total sold in ascending order. Okay, it's the same. We need to choose create, here the design, and then we choose sales inventory and inventory table. On the first column, we need to choose item ID, and then description from the inventory, and then quantity from the sales inventory, and then we click on total. The quantity we group by sum, and then the sort is ascending, and then we run the problem. Okay, this is the answer for the last question. Here we copy and paste the answer. So this is the last answer that we get, that we will be submitted. That's all for me. Thank you.